So I think Guhua Fashi, so Guhua Fashi is from Fa Kusan, right? But he learned under my teacher for some years. So after my teacher passed away, he visited the US monastery. And so during his visit, we had a bit of a catch up. Yeah, I'm very indebted to him because he's the senior that whom my teacher entrusted me to for him to help me, do the preparation prior to my ordination. Yeah, so I take him as a close mentor. So when he was in US for a visit during the catch-up, so then he asked me how am I and how my practice was. So I was very eager, if you meet someone that you respect, your senior, you want to make them proud, you want to, especially at that point in time, my teacher has just passed away for a while. I wanted him to know that I'm doing good, that I'm making good of myself, that he can be proud of me. But I didn't lie. So I told him, I said, I'm keeping up with the practice. I'm doing about 4 to 5 hours a day, or maybe 5 to 6 hours, and I'm slowly going to increase it to 7 to 8 hours. It's quite funny now that I think back, as a junior, how you wish to get affirmation from your senior. When he heard it, he just nodded, and then when he spoke, he said, good, but for the first 10 years of your ordination, of your monkhood, try to just keep to the schedule in the monastery. About the 4 hours. So 1.5 hours in the morning, about 1.5 hours in the evening, and then plus the walking, should be about 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. The duration he mentioned is 4 hours. So he said that basically, like, you don't have to go so far as to go 5 to 6 hours. Just do 4 hours and maintain that. Important thing he said was maintain it for the first 10 years. Just like that is 10 years. Not maintain that for 3 months, maintain that for half a year or 1 year, maintain that for 10 years. At that point in time, my little brain could not process anything except feel insulted. To be very honest, it was quite funny. I mean, it is funny now when I think about it. Back then, not so funny. Back then, in my mind, I was thinking, "Wow, 看不起我." Yeah, I was thinking to myself, "Wow, this senior don't think much about me. Don't think that I can do 5 to 6 hours, 7 to 8 hours. Ask me to just maintain 4 hours for 10 years." And his point was, if you can keep that as a foundation, that's very good already. So I was like a bit perplexed, but since your senior say so I just 依教奉行, like that I will practice as you have instructed. But of course, in my mind, I'm like, what is this, man? But now thinking back, there's a lot of wisdom in it, and I think it comes from experience also. Accumulated experience. That, for one, it's not difficult to do intensive practices for a short time, but to do it for 10 years, that's not easy. And it is the consistent 4 hours for 10 years that will get you somewhere, that will give you that foundation. And notice I mentioned about that it's not 3 months, 6 months or a year, but 10 years. In our monastery in US, the duration that we talk about is all very long. my teacher when he was commenting on how fast we should finish a certain commentary, the Mahayana Sangraha text. He said, should we just finish one time and then have an exams and then give you the certificate? He said, no. You should study it once, twice, 3 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, until you have penetrated into the meaning, until you have attained enlightenment. Then you qualify. Yeah. Then you are considered to have passed. Yeah. Then you have graduated. Yeah. So this is the whole environment that I started off with, back in US. And I think this is resounded in so many masters in all the different traditions. I don't know of any masters who tell people that, oh, come to my center, come and learn under this tradition, 3 weeks or 3 days. Now the Buddha did give the promise, in the Satipatthana Sutta, that a person can attain arahanthood within 7 years, or even 7 months, 7 weeks, or even just 7 days. But that's not impossible, but that is the minority. For most people, it takes longer than that, and you can see it from the Khuddaka Nikaya under the Therigatha, the verses of the elder monks and nuns. Most of the monks and nuns, they attain enlightenment after decades of practices, not after 7 days. 7 days is the minimum. But the rest, they took a much longer time.